Imagine you have a new LLC, right? Brand new, you just got your certificate of good standing from state authorities, and you're all happy. Everybody knows in the neighborhood. And now the question is, how do you build business credit? Let's answer that conundrum into today's video. So here are the steps I really want you to pay attention to. See, the whole thing here is that if you are trying to really build business credit for your new LLC, the very first step you want to do here is you want to make sure that you indeed have an LLC. Okay, I mean, because see, the thing is that that was kind of funny. Yesterday we were talking, and there were people telling, yeah, I have an LLC, and then we just went online and we just tapped the name of the company, and there was no LLC in the first place. That's kind of funny. Like there was two companies that were registered in Wisconsin, and they said, well, we're LLC in Wisconsin, so we went to the Wisconsin State Department and we entered the website and we just entered everything, and there was no LLC. See, the thing is, there is a difference between what you believe is an LLC, is a real LLC, because you just filed some paperwork and you think you're already registered, but you're not in state archives. So make sure that you are indeed in state directories. So you have to contact your Secretary of State to make sure that you are indeed registered. Okay. Now, good thing is a lot of those departments, they have platforms where you can just go and check whether or not you are indeed registered. So once you have that, make sure you have an EIN right away. So once you just get the confirmation from the state authorities that you are actually an LLC, the next thing you want to do automatically is just to get your EIN. I mean, in this economy, it's so important because at some point you're going to need to actually use your EIN in a series of things. For example, getting a loan, getting a business line of credit, getting even opening a bank account for your new LLC. Banks require you to have an EIN. So go to the IRS website and get that. Not a problem at all. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We'll love having this kind of convos with every now and then about how to build business credit for new LLCs. So number one, you want to register your business and get your EIN. Number two, you need to contact Dun & Bradstreet. Contact Dun & Bradstreet right now and apply for your DUNS number. So DUNS number is kind of quite essential. You know why? Because when people talk about pay desk score, like your new LLC at some point is going to need a pay desk score, or it will be assigned a pay desk score that a lot of vendors will pay attention to. So if you apply for a net 30 account, or you're trying to get a business loan, or you're trying to get a business line of credit for your new LLC, you're going to have to justify your credit worthiness at the business level. And this is where you need a DUNS number. The DUNS number will actually be the quintessential element, the fulcrum of your pay desk score. Okay, so make sure you have a DUNS number, and so you need to contact Dun & Bradstreet, and it's free. It's free. They're not charging you anything at all, okay? But you need to have it. The third thing I want you to do right now, if you're trying to build business credit for your new LLC, brand new LLC, fresh out of the oven, boss, what I want you to do here is to actually try to have a business credit card. Okay. And again, when we talk about having a business credit card, a lot of new LLCs, they want to have, they have big eyes, they're thinking about all the prestigious credit cards, like, the Chase Ink, the Amex Gold, whatever. I'm like, why are you trying to waste your time? You want to go first for credit cards that are like business credit card where you have a probability of being approved. So what I want you to do is I want you to look for a local credit union. Forget about the big ass banks, the national banks, the behemoths, the Chase of the world, the Bank of America, the Wells Fargo, the Citi. Forget about those. You want to go local. You want to get closer to a local bank, a community bank, or a community credit union, and you want to form a relationship at that level. Start little, boss. If you have a new LLC, you want to start little. And what you want to do is you want to get a business credit card. It's a lot easier, believe me, it's a lot easier to get a business credit card from a local credit union, because the thing is that the people working at that credit union, they know your ass. They have seen you. They've known you. They've seen you in the community. They know you. So it's a lot easier to approve you than if you were to go basically apply for a business credit card for your startup at a national bank, or even a regional bank for that matter. Like regional banks such as Truist, you have Key Bank, you have US Bank, you have Fifth Third, you have PNC. Those banks, unless you have a long form, like if you have a long-standing relationship with them, they are going to approve you. But if you don't, it's harder. So you want to start small. Go to a small community bank or small, like a rural credit union, where you just apply for a business credit card there and start building your credit that way. Okay, that's a lot easier than trying to do things the hard way. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are we're having a conversation about how to build business credit for your new LLC. Now, big decision time, boss. Big decision time. What do you bank at? What do you bank at? Do you even have a bank account for your new LLC? Talk to me about that. Talk to me. Do not razzle dazzle me. Do you have a bank account? If not, it's about time you open a bank account. And so you want to start with the bank where you're currently at the personal level. If you think it's too complicated, if they don't have a business credit, if they don't offer a business credit card, try to open an account at a credit union that's local or a bank that's local that offers business credit cards. Okay, this is going to help you down the road. The next thing I want you to really do here is that is to really think about, like, for your new LLC, you got to ask yourself, what kind of supplies do I need? What kind of inventory do I need? What kind of equipment do I need? And what you want to do here is you need to start thinking about whether it will be nice, it will be better in your situation to start thinking about net 30 accounts. Now, the thing is that in this economy, it's a little complicated though, because everybody's scared. Vendors are scared. Like, I'm not going to extend a trade line to you because I don't know if you're going to repay me, and it becomes a little complicated, especially if you are in an industry that has that's on a downward trajectory, like an industry on a decline. So a lot of vendors will be scared as hell trying to really extend you some credit. But please, I want you to soldier on. Do not actually be demotivated. Do not be discouraged at all. Okay, if you try one vendor, if they say no, you go to the next one. They say no, you keep going and going. We have a show that actually shows you basically the top 20, the top 10, the top 15 net 30 vendors, and I'm sure you will find a net 30, like 1 or 2 or 3 net 30 vendor in your industry, or the one that matches your business needs, your LLC business needs. So credit card, boss. Quick question: do you currently have a credit card, a business credit card for your new LLC? If yes, this is really good. So that means you already have one trade line. So what you want to do here is you want to use the same business credit card to start building a relationship with a net 30 vendor. So what you do here is that you can choose one like Home Depot or one like the Staples. You can go with Walmart. You can go with BJ. We can go with BJ's Wholesale. You can go with Costco. You can go with Sam's Club. Try to have those stores credit cards. Try to build credit with those stores credit cards because they're a lot easier to get because they need your business anyway. So and then you can start building that relationship at that level. But it's important to establish trade lines with your suppliers so that you can add another layer of credit to your business credit score. Okay, again, the first one being what? Business credit card. Second one being business trade lines. Okay, net 30 accounts. So because you want to have at least 2 or 3 or 4 business trade lines on your credit score. So when somebody opens your Paydesk score, they will see different trade lines. Very quintessential. The next thing I want you to really do here is that I want you to really start paying attention to now the bank where you were at. Normally, if you have a new LLC, you have a business bank account anyway. What you want to do is you want to download an app that helps you manage your finances. There are free apps out there. There are free business apps to help you manage your finances, or you can just go for accounting software like QuickBooks Online. This is great. Or you have FreshBooks or Zoho Books. You have a lot of players in that field. You also have QuickBooks, Zoho Books. You have Monday.com. They also have some kind of accounting section. So you have a lot of players in that field. So what you want to do is you want to manage your liquidity. You want to know your cash inflows and your cash outflows. Why? Well, I'll answer you. But first, money, boss. Money. How do you actually manage your cash? Talk to me about that. Again, don't try to razzle dazzle me. How do you manage your cash? How do you know your cash inflows and cash outflows? Let me ask you differently. Boss, son, daughter, uncle, aunt, I'm talking to you. Do you know right now your new LLC, your cash balance? Do you have an idea how much you have in the bank or how much you have in general? If you don't, you need to have software to help you sort of monitor your cash inflows and cash outflows. Because to build business credit, if you want to build business credit, you need cash to actually build that credit. I'm not saying you have to pay everything in cash because that will be counterintuitive, right? It will be dichotomous. It will be contradictory to the whole idea of business credit, because credit means the absence of cash. But you need to have a little bit of cash at the beginning to sort of have a strong foundation for your financial, a strong financial foundation for your LLC. So the thing is, you want to have you want to be in a situation where you are paying creditors early. See, if you don't know, if you have no idea about your cash situation, how would you know if you have a cash surplus or a cash deficit? So you will not be in a situation to pay creditors earlier. But if you want to build business credit for your new LLC, you need to pay creditors early, especially the net 30 vendors, because if you just pay your net 30 vendors on time, your credit score will hover around, your business credit score will hover around 80. But if you start paying them 2 days in advance, 5 days in advance, your credit score, your payday score rather, not credit score, your payday score will go to 85 to 90. So this is really good. So that's where you start seeing some serious juice. Okay, you start seeing some serious benefits here. Next thing I want you to do, if you are trying to build business credit for your new LLC, is to prioritize those lenders that report. You know, see, the thing is that lenders are not created equal, if I can say this. You know, like you may like a lender, you may like a bank, your favorite bank, for example. Let's say you bank with Chase, or you bank with Wells Fargo, but Wells Fargo tells you, listen, we don't report to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. Well, you might, you can like them, but you're not going to do business with Wells Fargo or Chase. You know why? Because you are trying to build business credit for your new LLC. So if the lender does not actually report to all the credit bureaus, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting your time, your energy, your money, and everything. So, Dad, Mom, I'm talking to you. Cuz, I'm talking to you here. If you have a new LLC, you're trying to build business credit, the very first thing is, when you talk to a lender, ask them. You want to ask the lender, do you report? Yes, we do report. Where do you report? Do you report to Dun & Bradstreet, SBFA? Do you report to Equifax? Do you report to NMLC? Do you report to, tell me where you report, because I really, it's important for me. I'm in a credit building mission here. Okay, I'm building credit here. Boss, I want to remind you again of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to build business credit for a new LLC. How do you actually do the whole thing? How do you make it happen right off the bat? So it's important to understand that when we talk about borrowing from lenders that report to credit bureaus, you want to make sure that you're clear about what the lenders are like. You're clear about what that means. Like, they're telling you, hey, listen, we report to credit bureaus. Okay, which credit bureaus do you report to? How often do you report? And how can I track it? Because the thing is, if they're telling you, what kind of proof do they have? What kind of proof can they show you that they actually report? Because otherwise, again, you are going to waste your time. Do not waste your time with vendors that do not report. Okay, when you have a new LLC or an established LLC for that matter, you really want to deal only with vendors that report. So what I'm trying to say here is that let's say you have Uline, and you want to buy from Uline versus you want to buy from Granger. That's a net 30 account, right? And Uline is telling you, hey, listen, we do not report. But Granger's like, hey, yeah, we'll just report anything. You want to go with Granger because you are basically making money more over time by having your activities reported to the credit bureaus. This is how you build credit. This is how you build credit. The next thing I want you to do here, boss, is to really try to stay clear of derogatory items. If you are trying to build business credit for your new LLC, you have to really, quote unquote, sanitize your personal life and business life. And I mean sanitize to in the extreme way. You have to kick off any sort of distractions, any sort of disease, credit worthiness disease that are really, obliterating your opportunity when it comes to having a high payday score. And so what happens here is that if you're trying to really stay away from items that could really doom your credit building abilities, you want to stay away from things like collections, things like overdrafts, judgments, liens, and bankruptcy filings. The thing is that a lot of folks, when you talk about overdraft, they're like, yeah, laughing, blah, 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 blah. How can an overdraft really have an impact on my credit score? And the thing is that overdraft, really, you might be thinking those are small, but banks are reporting them. If you have a bank that's reporting everything, and all those little things, they have an impact. And the thing is, even if you don't have an entry on Equifax, on TransUnion or Experian, the mere fact that you have an entry on checks system is really bad already, because a lot of insurance companies do check system before actually opening a new policy. So if you're starting to have a heavy profile on check systems, or on like similar sort of databases, I'm blanking right now on that, on the other, but that's okay. What I want to say here is that you want to make sure that you avoid things like judgments and liens, bankruptcies, collections, all that kind of stuff. You really want to stay away from those things, because otherwise, so yeah, the word I was looking for before is telecheck. So telecheck and early warning systems, EWS. Those are competitors to check systems, but again, those are like consumer credit reporting agencies. So you want to really just make sure that your records are clean in those databases. So if you want to build business credit for your new LLC, avoid any judgment and lien. You want to stay away from any collections, so that you can just have a normal life. That's just fantastic. Let me give you a few pro tips here, boss. And I want to give you a few pro tips. The thing here is that when we talk about, you need to actually keep your information current with all three credit bureaus, because again, the bottom line here is that you are trying to build business credit for your new LLC. Okay, you've done everything. You've talked to vendors who report, and they have assured you that they indeed report, and you've tested the thing yourself, and you see that yeah, they do report. However, you need to monitor the situation to make sure that whatever you expected is indeed what's happening. Because otherwise, there will be a gap, there will be a delta between what you're expecting, like your expectations and reality. And the Lord knows, I know, you know, that anytime you have a gap between your expectations and reality, it's always on the negative side, right? Like you're expecting something and then it doesn't happen that way, and the Lord, the good Lord, is just telling you, hey, listen, what you want is not what I want for you right now, and you can be frustrated. So if you want to avoid that, make sure that you actually are able to build business credit by establishing relationship. Okay, you want to establish a relationship with the vendors, with the lenders. So basically, you want to make sure that your information is current with all three credit bureaus. So when you look at your Dun & Bradstreet, your Experian, and Equifax, make sure what you think is happening is indeed what the good Lord has actually established for you. So, but that means that you have to continuously track your information on those three credit bureaus. Otherwise, how would you know that you're making progress? Because the goal here is to build business credit for a new LLC. So if you want to build business credit for a new LLC, you really need to have the right information anyway. So okay, that's the only way you know right off the bat whether you are doing something great or not. Okay. And one thing I also want to say here is that a lot of folks are saying, well, sometimes even if the info is current with all three credit bureaus, how would that help you in terms of building business credit for your new LLC? Well, the answer is very simple. If you're able to monitor your business credit reports from time to time, you will catch mistakes very early on, and you can fix them, which in turn will have a big impact if you were to buy or lease, that way. Because if you have those things, the trading partner, the transaction partner, the stakeholder will check your credit to make sure that you're indeed you're indeed legit. Okay, so this is important to really see this. So if they check your info, they check your profile to see that you're legit, then that's really good. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. One thing I want to say here, let me quickly recap here. Okay, so I spoke to you about how to build business credit for a new LLC. So I give you the steps, and now I give you the recap. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.